The wickedness that humanity had fallen into at that time was indeed a critical factor in God's decision to intervene. The people of Babel, in their desire to build a tower to the heavens, were attempting to assert their own power and reach a place of self-glorification without regard for God's authority. This ambition was an act of rebellion against divine order, as they sought to establish their own greatness, rather than acknowledging their dependence on God. The uniformity of language in their unity could be seen as a tool that enabled them to collaborate in their wickedness and to achieve greater success in their defiance. As they could communicate without barriers, they were able to work together with greater efficiency, and therefore felt empowered to challenge God's will. Your interpretation that this might have been a precautionary act on God's part is insightful. Separating humanity's language was essentially a barrier to their wickedness. In dividing them through language, God thwarted their plans and confused their ability to collaborate in the way they had before. It was a divine act to prevent them from exercising too much power in rebellion. You also see a parallel in the modern world, where in some cases, the development of one universal language, or the potential for global unity, can lead to situations where people might unite for the wrong purposes. For instance, we see the spread of harmful ideologies, misuse of technologies, or coercion by powerful groups that might unite around a single cause but are misguided or wicked in their intentions. Just as in Babel, this idea of a single common tongue, whether in a technological, political, or social sense, can enable both good and evil, and sometimes can be used to manipulate or control. In the time of Noah, we also see the consequences of human wickedness in the story of the flood. In that case, it was not language that separated them, but their moral corruption and violence. However, the wickedness in Babel shares a thematic connection to human pride and the desire to place themselves above God, the same pride and rebellion that also marked the corruption of humanity before the flood. In both cases, the Tower of Babel and the days of Noah, God's intervention seems to be about preserving divine order and preventing the ultimate collapse of humanity under the weight of their own sin and pride. As we reflect on this, today's world seems to bear similar echoes. The need for accountability in the use of language, power, technology, and global unity is more pressing than ever. We must ask ourselves, are we, like the people of Babel, attempting to build our own tower, disregarding divine wisdom? Or will we learn to use our unity for good, with humility and a sense of responsibility? Your view on this is very much aligned with moral reflection. We should be cautious about how communication and unity can sometimes enable wickedness, if not governed by wisdom, compassion, and justice. The lesson from Babel might be that without God, the unity of humanity may be used for destruction, whereas with God, that unity becomes a tool for righteousness. This perspective opens up an ongoing dialogue on how we navigate our world and the ways in which we can use language and communication, whether it be digital platforms, global movements, or even societal unity, to build up or tear down. What do you think? Does this line of reflection align with your thoughts?